Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. Now, unfortunately, Bitcoin's not looking too good right now. It is trapped between a level of support and resistance. It is currently down 1.37% within the last 24 hours, still trading at $36,360, so it could be worse. But right now, the charts aren't looking exactly how they've been looking in the last couple of weeks. We do have a little bit of concern at these levels. So on the 4-hour chart here, you can see between those white lines, we were trapped in a channel moving to the upside. We then did eventually break to the upside, and it was a big win there, breaking through that level of resistance and using it as a level of support. But that did not last long. We have broken back down below that level of previous resistance, and it looks like we are using it as a level of resistance once again. Now, this candle closes in 37 minutes. I'm sure we'll still be on stream then, so we will talk about that as that progresses. But we also have this level of support here, and that is at the $36,366 level. It's been bounced twice now. We used it back here. We have recently used it again. Do I think it's going to hold right now? I think it's a challenge. I think that is a challenge. Now, if we're going to go back into this channel, we're looking at that level of support at $35,230 and a level of resistance at $36,800. So I'm keeping a close eye on that range. If we do manage to go back into that channel and continue to bounce that level of support and resistance, I'm pretty happy with that. As I've been saying, a little bit of a pullback to retest previous levels of resistance that are now acting as support is what's needed to keep the price of Bitcoin healthy. A move straight to the upside in one straight line does not give healthy price action, and it brings a lot of fears when we do eventually see a turn to the downside and a little bit of retracement, because if we've built no levels of support, we have nothing really to rely on. So having these levels of consolidation and these zones where we are just retesting previous levels of support, that's really important for the long term with Bitcoin there. Is Crypto Dreamer said, is there also a fake XRP airdrop video going on? I'm not sure. I've not seen that. What I've been seeing is the XRP news. There was news yesterday that BlackRock were filing for an XRP ETF. Now that news has been fake. We will be talking about that in today's stream. But before we get into today's cryptocurrency news, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We do these live streams every single weekday where we talk about what's going on in the markets. We analyze the price of Bitcoin and we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news. So make sure to give us a like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. The first story of the day here is about the XRP news. So XRP recently pumped 12% before retracing. Now let's take a look at XRP. This is currently ranked number 5 in terms of market cap, and you can see here that massive wick that XRP had yesterday. If we go onto the 1-hour chart, you can see this was so quick. We were trading down at 65 cents and it rose all the way up to 75 cents almost before being heavily rejected and retracing back down to those previous levels. We are now currently trading around the point at which we were trading prior to that false news report. So let's take a look at what exactly happened there yesterday. Now, a fake news filing saw the XRP price shoot up 12% before retracing the move upon confirmation that the filing was fake. The fake news filing suggested that BlackRock were creating an XRP exchange traded fund and led to a 12% surge in XRP's value. Now, late on the 13th of November, so yesterday, users of Twitter spotted a Delaware filing indicating BlackRock's registration of the iShares XRP Trust, purportedly laying the groundwork for an ETF. The news was not dismissed initially, given BlackRock's recent foray into the world of crypto. They are filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum Trust in 2023 so far, so the potential new filing was not immediately considered false, and the fake news filing saw XRP surge 12%. However, all gains vanished within half an hour following confirmation from Bloomberg's ETF analyst, who verified that BlackRock that the filing was fake. In his tweet, he commented that the fake filing may have been submitted by an impersonator or The fake news has led to rumors that the Ethereum trust submitted by BlackRock last week was also fake, but the validity, there we go, of this filing has been confirmed since. So what we were seeing there is some fears going on, and I think that would have been a little bit to be concerned about now. So let's talk about this for a second. Hopefully today's stream is good quality. We've had a bit of a mixed news. Let's talk about this for a second. So, XRP have filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF. Now, there was fake news yesterday that they'd filed for an XRP ETF, and that caused the price to increase 12%. Now, I don't necessarily think seeing BlackRock apply for multiple ETFs for multiple cryptocurrency products is the best thing for crypto. What we've seen is a lot of excitement around spot Bitcoin ETFs, and we've seen how much the price can move off the back of the acceptance of a spot Bitcoin ETF, and there's a lot of excitement around that. But if we see BlackRock trying to get into the markets entirely, trying to create trying to create crypto ETFs for many different projects, I believe it just kind of it loses the concentration. It kind of spreads the excitement, and it doesn't make it as intense as it concentrated. So I don't think that an XRP ETF would have been a brilliant move for the cryptocurrency space. Yes, it could have been beneficial for XRP holders, and maybe it is something that's coming in the future, but I don't think this is something that we need right now in the markets. What we are seeing here is to verify fake news sources, make sure to check out this article, but the rumor is the third notable fake news rumor within a month. There's been 3 fake news rumors about ETFs this month, and they have impacted the market significantly. We need to be incredibly careful on what sources we are trusting and what sources we are not. We've seen rumors that spot Bitcoin ETFs were accepted. They were false. We've seen rumors that XRP's ETF has been created. That is false. We just need to be incredibly careful here. Now, on the next story today, we are seeing Bitcoin miners receive $44 million in one day. Now, that's a very successful Sunday, leading to a new yearly high. So what we're seeing here is, according to blockchain.com, Bitcoin miners earned $44 million on Sunday, setting an all-time high in 2023 for network participants. So mining revenue across the $44 million mark is the first occurrence since April 2022, over 18 months ago. Now, what we are going to see what we are going to see at the Bitcoin halving is the block reward for Bitcoin miners half. So it's going to go from 6.25 to 3.125. That means every time a miner adds a block onto the blockchain, they will be earning 3.125 Bitcoin instead of 6.25 Bitcoin. Now, we are going to see, obviously, the amount, what's the term called? The amount that Bitcoin miners receive decline as a result of this, but historically, this has caused the price of Bitcoin to increase. For Bitcoin miners to be as profitable as they are now in a year's time, the price of Bitcoin needs to double at least. So the reduction is estimated to occur on the 24th of April so far, and it will be triggered at block 840,000, marking the 4th halving in Bitcoin's lifetime. So a Bitcoin halving occurs every 210,000 blocks, and a block is mined approximately every 10 minutes. This is just an estimation, but as we get closer to that date, we will get it more specific timing for that. At the time of writing, there are 146,000 Bitcoin left to be mined pre-halving, with 93.05% of the total supply in circulation. Now, we are seeing miners record profitable Q3s. We've seen a huge amount of mining companies say they were profitable in Q3. The bear market is incredibly difficult for Bitcoin mining companies because the amount they are paying to mine Bitcoin is still the same. They've got to pay for the hardware. They've got to pay for the electricity. They've got to pay for all the fans to cool down their mining rigs because they get incredibly hot. But the Bitcoin they're receiving in return for mining a block is worth less when the price of Bitcoin is down. So it's really difficult for mining companies to survive a bear market, but a lot of them try and cling on by a thread in order to survive for the next bull market, because in bull markets these kinds of companies can be incredibly profitable. Now let's take a look at the next article here and see what's going on. Before we continue, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Centralized exchange spot volumes have risen 57% in October. Now, this is correlated with the increased excitement within the cryptocurrency space. As we've all seen many times before, when Bitcoin's moving up, people are interested. When it's moving down or sideways, nobody's interested. We've seen that over and over again. We've been doing these live streams since Bitcoin was at $16,000, and it's been a struggle, but we have managed to create a community here of people that have educated themselves during this bear market and are ready for the bull market to hit. We don't want to be those people that get into Bitcoin once it's crossed its all-time high. We want to be educating ourselves about this industry now, and that is what a lot of us here are doing. Now let's take a look at what's going on here in Binance. You can see there's been a 51% change from September to October, and Upbit we've seen a 74% change. On Crypto.com we've seen a 200% change. That's a massive, massive move there. We are seeing $2.3 trillion in derivatives. Binance again was the leading exchange with over $1 trillion in volume, a 61.8% increase. The excitement is finally back in cryptocurrency after a long crypto winter. Let's take a look at the next article here. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust discount hits multi-year low. So Grayscale have created a Bitcoin Trust GBTC, and they've been trying to transfer that into a spot Bitcoin ETF, and the SEC have not let them do that. They've been in a lawsuit with the SEC. They've won that lawsuit with the SEC. The SEC are now re-reviewing their application for a spot Bitcoin ETF, and the discount between the value of GBTC's underlying Bitcoin and the value of that and the actual value of GBTC as a stock has not been one-to-one. It's been pretty volatile there, actually. So we have seen almost a 50% decrease, discrepancy between the value of GBTC's underlying Bitcoin and GBTC as a stock price. And that value, that discrepancy has got smaller and smaller as the likelihood of GBTC transferring into a spot Bitcoin ETF has increased. Now, that has increased yet. So what we've seen here is the discount between the underlying Bitcoin and GBTC stock has reached almost 10.35%, and that is the lowest discount since July 2021, because what would happen here is if GBTC transfers into a spot Bitcoin ETF, that 10% would go instantly and it would become one-to-one pegged with the value of its underlying assets. So those people that managed to buy into GBTC at that 50% discrepancy just made the value of Bitcoin increasing. They've made profit from Bitcoin increasing over the last 6 months, and they've made profit from the discrepancy going as well. So what we're seeing there is they've made Bitcoin's up 120% this year, and they get, in fact, let's pull up the chart for GBTC here and see what the value is. So for Bitcoin in the daily chart, since the start of the year, let's reset this to make sure it's all gonna, no, that didn't work. Reset price scale, here we go. So since the start of 2023, Bitcoin is up currently 120%. Now, GBTC is Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust. I expect this to be up a significant amount more. Let's take a look at this. This is up 275% because those people have not only, because the price of this asset has not only followed Bitcoin because its underlying assets are Bitcoin, but the discrepancy between the value of its underlying assets and the price of Bitcoin has declined. So we've seen that gap decline between the discrepancy, and we've seen Bitcoin increase in value. So that's a massive, massive win for GBTC investors there. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what else is going on. We've got Grayscale CEO hints at spot ETF approval. So in the last couple of months, we've seen a lot of spot Bitcoin ETF applications. The CEO of Grayscale has been leading the way with that. They applied for a spot Bitcoin ETF many years ago now, a couple of years ago, and then they had to enter a lawsuit with the SEC because the SEC wrongfully rejected their spot Bitcoin ETF. The SEC lost in court. They lost that lawsuit, and now we are seeing and waiting for the SEC to re-review Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF application. They cannot give the reasoning that they gave last time to reject this ETF, so they need to either accept it or find a new reason to reject it. Now, so far, according to this article, Grayscale CEO hints at spot ETF approval. So let's take a look at this. On Monday, the CEO of Grayscale posted a vague but seemingly straightforward message to investors. He stated, "It's been a 10-year dress rehearsal. We're ready for the main event." Now, the CEO's cryptic message alludes to the potential of its ETF application being approved after elongated wait. Grayscale has been waiting approval to convert its GBTC into into a spot ETF. As I've just said, GBTC is up 275% this year, so nothing to complain about, but it would be brilliant to see the application be turned into a spot Bitcoin ETF. I am amongst the people that believe that if we see Grayscale's ETF get accepted, we will see BlackRock's, Fidelity's, VanEck's spot Bitcoin ETFs get accepted as well. So it could be that a huge amount of excitement is about to hit the markets. Yet again, we do need to be aware that they don't need to be accepted. The SEC could find a new reason as to why they can reject these ETFs, but right now, the expectation is that they will be accepted, and if they are, and if that happens simultaneously, there will be a lot of excitement in crypto very, very quickly. Let's take a look at the next article here. So Crypto.com receives VASP license to trade in Dubai. Crypto.com launches CFTC regulated strike options. BitGet abandons plans for Hong Kong license and may gain exposure through acquisition. And we've got Foresight Ventures acquires majority stake in the block for almost $60 million. If you're interested in any of those stories, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. We're always reporting on the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's take a look at what's going on with the price of Bitcoin now though and see what price action we've got here. Now, Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart was in this channel, this ascending channel. It used the level of support multiple times. It used the level of resistance multiple times. We then managed to break to the upside, break up through that level of resistance and use it as a level of support. Now that was a massive win for us. We saw it use the level of resistance as a support, and there were many positive price predictions there. Now if we take the distance between the support and resistance of this channel, the price prediction was hit pretty quickly. The target there for the channel was at $38,000 and we managed to hit that. But what we've seen now is we've actually fallen back below that level of resistance, and on the 4-hour chart, it could be that we are using that level of resistance once again. We have 21 minutes until that candle closes, and it does not look like we are going to get a breakthrough above that level of resistance, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Another level that I'm taking note of is this level of previous support, and that is at the $36,360 level. If we close a 4-hour candle below that, then I'm going to be looking closely at this level of support at $35,220. If we manage to hold this, then we could be being trapped within these levels until one of them breaks. Now, neither of these are particularly strong. I would say the white one is stronger than the yellow one. So it is not looking brilliant at this point in time. I want to see more positive price action, but I am being aware that that level of resistance could be back in play right now. It's looking that it is, so we need to be aware of all possible scenarios here. We can also take a look at the price of Ethereum today. Let me know if there's any altcoins here in the chat that you want to discuss. We did discuss Cake on last weekend, and I made a trade from that and it did very well, but we will talk about that in a second. We were in a descending channel for Ethereum for a long period of time. We managed to break out of that with the news of BlackRock spot Ethereum ETFs. We are now seeing a slight pullback. Now, whether we will come all the way back down to $1,900, I don't know. That seems like a bit of a challenge. It is quite a far way down right now. We do have a level of previous resistance here at $2,006, so maybe we could be using that as a level of support. But I'm keeping an eye on this. We are going to see some reversal at some point in time, but this also depends on the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to continue to go down, we can't expect too much excitement around Ethereum unless more positive news comes out about Ethereum specifically. Now, what else have we got here? Let's talk about Cake USDT. This was an interesting one. We pulled this up on the charts last week, and you can see this has broken a major level of resistance, and it has actually had a confirmation bounce. This is the level of resistance on the daily chart. And you can see we had a confirmation bounce of this, and we entered this trade around here following that on Friday. Now, I have exited this trade because the markets have had a bit of a change of heart. On the daily chart, you can see this was a clear trade, but then the weekend hit, and when the weekend hits, things aren't easy to trade because the weekend means that the markets just don't play nice on the weekend. I prefer to trade on a weekday, so I like to get in and out on a weekend. I am now out of that trade. It did make some nice profits though because because we had that confirmation bounce. We've had some big wicks on the daily chart as well. Sometimes this just decides to pump for absolutely no reason, and it has done so again this morning. If we go onto the half-hour chart, and in fact the 15-minute chart, I was watching this morning just pump, and then now it's having a bit of a retracement. It's been very, very volatile. Let's take a look at Link, in fact, because Link USDT had broken to the upside massively. Let's remove all these. What you can see here is this was below a previous level of resistance for 530 days. It broke above that. It's had a massive run to the upside, and now it's having a little bit of retracement. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart, you can see that it is retracing slightly. There are some levels of support to be looking at. We can go all the way back on the daily chart and see some levels of previous support here. So let's pull these out. We have one here. We have one, in fact, here. And I would say we have one here as well. Now let's see how that plays with what's happened in recent price data. I would want to pull that up to around there. It's the most significant level right now is this lower one, but hopefully we don't need to go that low for Chainlink. Chainlink is a brilliant project. It's been stuck below that level of resistance for too long, but those people that were investing during that bearish period have seen nice rewards. We did see a 100% pump there. It has retraced slightly. It's retraced about 15%, but it's still been a really nice pump for Link investors. Let's take a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day here. Matic is up 6% almost, and Maker is up almost 6% as well. Let's take a look at them. And then we've got Atom and Osmosis down at the bottom as well, and Filecoin, Helium dropping above 8%. Let's take a look at Matic first of all. And what I like to do is take a look at the biggest losers of the day and see if they are in for any reversals. Let's take a look at this. This is the best. This is one of the trending tokens of the day. This is performing very nicely. If we pull this across, we've got a clear level of resistance here. Now that is at 10. That's Matic. That's the Matic market cap. We want Matic USDT. Let's get this right. So Matic USDT, you can see we can pull this across there. Once again, the level of resistance here is at around $1.04. You can see we are approaching that pretty quickly. That is on the daily chart there as well. These are the levels. We're at a point now where all of these tokens are breaking their bear market resistances, and that's why things are getting so exciting in the cryptocurrency space. What were the biggest losers of the day? Let's take a look at Atom. Now, if a token is in the biggest losers of the day in a bullish period, this is the list I like to look at. These are the ones I'm looking to trade. I'm not looking to buy green. I'm looking to buy red. What we can see here is we have a level of resistance across there that has not been broken. We also are in some sort of channel on this chart as well. You can see that clearly. What else have we got here? Maybe we should be looking at these points up here and dragging those down. That was a major breakout. That was a major breakout for Atom there. We have seen a big pump to the upside as a result of that. You can see that's been used as a level of resistance multiple times. Now, we did get a confirmation bounce back down here, and we have had a massive wick to the upside. We are seeing a little bit of retracement right now. To be honest, I think all of these altcoins depend on Bitcoin. So let's get back to Bitcoin. Some of these altcoins that are in the biggest losers of the day and are having a bit of a pullback after having a major break to the upside are the tokens that I am interested in right now. When we're looking at Bitcoin, we need to be looking at that and seeing the potential. If Bitcoin's going to go sideways, those altcoins are a trade that I would be willing to take. If Bitcoin is going to move to the downside, then I'm going to step to the side for a bit. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart, you can see we are currently looking like we are reusing this level of resistance as a resistance once again, which could mean that we are going to retest this previous level of support at $35,230. So I'm keeping my cards. I'm playing safely today because the markets are looking a little bit more uncertain than they have in the recent weeks. But that is all we really have for today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in with me. As always, I hope you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We will be back here tomorrow with another cryptocurrency news update. So I hope to see you.